So, bit of a workshop one on the little t5070. There's a lot of stuff to do. This is not a day job. So, let's discuss what we're trying to do. Obviously the front weight carrier is gone, so what we have here in kit form, we have a brand new complete front linkage and front PTO and used loader brackets. So basically it'll mirror his old one. We've got the subplates. Yes, bloodied myself already. So basically it will be identical spec to this one, but there are this isn't going to be as easy as the John Deere. For a kick-off, the front PTO comes through here, so that has to go down there, which is what that's all about. The other thing with John Deere, the way it was designed, basically unbolted, you worked from the front, sort of undid the bottom crank pulley, pulled that off, put a different one on, and then built your way back out. This, apparently, we've got to do a lot of work. Hang on. Down in there where there's not a lot of room, cowling's got to come off, and that needs a hole cut in it. So there's more than a day here, definitely more than a day here. So basically customer's gone off to get some bolts and all that, because they didn't send any bolts with the loader brackets. Mint. So I'm going to start going on. Battery can come off, bonnet latch off, side brackets off, steps off, toolbox off. Can probably do the wire because obviously relocating the battery, it's not too big of a problem, but obviously the live cable, it's a different live cable, so we need to find out where that sort of goes to. I think it should be in there and route that. We're not going to put the battery box or anything on yet, because our loader brackets pick up those 3 bolts and those 2 bolts, so it makes sense to have all that out of the way for getting the subframe of the loader in. It's going to be loads of fun, this. Right, so it's a little thing, but organise the chaos a little bit. Put everything out of the box. That gives us temporary workbench. So got all my spanners, sockets, toolbox. We've got the varying different boxes of bits laid out there. They're all pins for the linkage, wiring loom, the wire, so we can see what we've got as we're going ahead and hopefully build it right. The other thing I'm doing, just as a matter of course, so a job like this, there'll be bolts that come off that won't be going back on because they'll be replaced with longer or whatever bolts. So any bolts that take off that aren't going back on, put over here so we don't get confused with that, because theoretically when it's all on there'll be no bolts here. So it doesn't look like much, but there is progress. Fan the cowlings out of the way so we can get down onto that bottom pulley. Drive couplings on. What's next? Right, so adapters on to the bottom crank. We've got the little drive coupling in there. That all needs setting up yet, but it's in place. Drive shaft through. We've got it onto the gearbox. So just trying to bolt the gearbox onto the front of the tractor now. Didn't have an Allen key big enough, so it's only stupid if it doesn't work. So just go through this. So mounted the mounting brackets on the side of the gearbox. They need torquing up still. We bolted that too. It worked to get it on, but not enough to torque it up. They want to be tighter yet. Down to the drive flange. So we've got a rubber cushion in there. So we've got bolts that go that way into the drive flange of the gearbox, and then bolts that go through there and into the drive shaft that comes off the front of the tractor. Go into the coupling. So we've got rubber bushes in there. Don't know why that's ribbed. So it should just go up. we go. That's snugged up now, so we just need to tighten that pinch bolt up, and that is PTO on. Well, they're all nice and tight, so the guards can go over on that covers here and here, so it's just those to tighten up. I have a nasty feeling that's not a turn. No, it's not. So, Cosmos is working on the loader. It's got the loader valve piped in, which will be used for the front linkage. And we're just starting to get the subframe on there. Oh, where's that gone? Oh, I've got another one. Oh. I will retrieve it in a minute. There's a big loader bracket there. Enough of that. Fan back on. So, another little bit done. We've taken the original positive lead off, bolted this one in, comes with the kit. The only thing Inga was a bit disheartened about, it didn't come with a cover, so especially being in the metal box. So taking that off the old lead, so that's now good. I'm not going to put that on just yet, but the back can go on it. So, because that bolts into there, which is the right hand side fan cover. So we've got that done. So possibly could mount the battery box, providing it's not going to get in the way of what we're trying to do. So, thought we might as well give this a proper bit of an update where we're up to. So, customer's been doing this bit, but we have 2 out of 3 of the pipes in for the loader controls. We've got a pipe here not in yet because I think we're short of a fitting to go. Hang on. Into it for that pipe there. We've got this bracket on here. Loader controls are mounted in the cab. Unfortunately, where the dimples were for the threaded part in the back of the mud guard didn't quite line up right, so he did that, I didn't do that, we're all right. I've not made the mess. So we've got the positive cable to put back on there, which we've got the isolator there, showed you all that into there, and then the cable obviously going down there where the battery box is being relocated to. Still got to get the fan in and all the cowl. We have to modify the cowl a little bit because of having that down there. Need to cut a bit out the bottom so that if we need to change the fan belt, to do that, undo that pinch bolt down there, slide that forwards. Obviously you need a gap in the fan cowl to be able to slide that up to be able to get the belt out between those two silver pieces. Got all the gap guards over the over the front PTO shaft. Had to undo the intercooler and prise that up to be able to slide that under. Obviously you can see that that's a very very snug fit. Did make a mistake, put all this lot in and then realise those pipes, because those pipes used to run sort of down there and back up, so that when you pulled that out it had somewhere to go, so we've had to relocate them to there. Just meant pulling them two Jubilee clips off, pulling the pipes off to be able to relocate them, because I wasn't undoing all that lot, not when I got it in. Still need to tighten them up properly, the big Allen keys, everything else is tightened. So we've got that to go underneath there. Then it's a case of two load of subframes. We have manhandled that round to there. That was as far as it was going. That's bloody heavy lump. So obviously those will sit down in here. Mounts on those bolts back there. And then these three bolt holes here, I think. So we're getting somewhere. There's a little bit more space on the table. Like I said, I think this is going to this is going to be a 2-day job. We ain't going to get this done in a day, I don't think. But we're getting on none too bad. I think that's the easiest way to say it. We're getting on none too bad. So we have had a little bit of a mistake. Basically, thought those holes were fine thread. Not me, the customer did. I would have said they were as well. But he's tried putting a bolt in, has just killed the threads a little bit. We walked on, old bolt, that's the correct thread. You see there, just cut it with the angle grinder, so it basically works like a makeshift tap. So did it, put a load of that stuff, cutting and tapping fluid on it. So hopefully that should be just a little bit tight, but there we go, perfect. Is it all the way there? I don't want to ram that all the way in, but I do want to make sure it does go home, kind of thing. Yeah, that is all the way. Was that a different thread again? Because that just run that in. Yeah, we are all right. So yeah, there we go. That's a nice little repair done on that. So we'll get the fan cowl sorted out. So the book says here we want to cut a groove out the bottom 85mm wide, 25mm deep, But he said, because obviously been here before, he says we want to make that bigger because it doesn't give you the gap to get the belt out. So to be fair, you'd say that's bigger than a 25mm belt. So fan cowl. Has it got an upside or a downside? Right, stick this in so I can figure out which way it goes, and then we'll have an adaptation. So I made a bit of a, don't know, got my measurements a bit wrong. Thought they looked wrong to recheck them, always recheck. But centre line, so cutting out what they told us to cut out. Gone a little bit wider, just give us a little bit more leeway, and 25mm deep, and then gone again for the actual size of the actual pulley boss. So that should slip into there when it comes time for a new auxiliary belt. So get that cut out now. That's it all cut out. Just got my little tool here just to just leaves a nice edge. So I'm just going to have a bit of a sort with them. I'll just get a little file and just take them little corners out. But also does steel as well. Great little tool. Right, so that's that bit done. All cleaned off. And if we stick it in, you'll see why it was cut. If you look down there now, you can see if that belt needs to be replaced, there'll be enough room to pull that back and get the belt out. Right, so we're the second day progress report. Might as well start the back and run away forwards. I think we're still short of the fitting for that pipe. We need to have a bit of a tidy up. It got a bit carnage last night. Everything got kind of, yeah. We do have the loader bracket in on this side. That was a bit of a pig to get in. As you can see, there's not a lot of room to play. We also didn't really strap it quite right, so it was hinging forwards and sort of top of it was tilting in, so it was a bit of a more, but we got it in. Side brackets. Now this turned out to be a bit different than the other one. The loader brackets go tight into the tombstone, and that rail sits on the outside. This turned out to be the other way round. PTO still needs tightening down, but he did go and find me last night an Allen key capable of doing it. That's a 17mm Allen key, so we've got that we can do now. Oh, I did say about the radio. Okay, some fancy looking stuff there. Tie brackets in on this side. That loader bracket was an absolute nightmare. We end up having to unbolt the front of the tank, slide the tank out, obviously take the step off. I mean, there is just There's just no room at all for that. That was an absolute swine. That was a three-man job. Hence the reason of part the carnage. Switches in. We have made a start on wiring it. So that just needs to go down onto an earth. Need to find out which wire that goes to, and then we've got that lot to run to the front to get into the to actually activate the PTO. But we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. There still looks a hell of a lot of stuff to do. So first thing is, I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up and get tools sort of back in some sort of order and get a bit of the carnage kind of sorted out. Right, so we're a little bit more organised now, a bit more clean and can see what we're doing. They're tightened up now, so it's another tick off the list. So I think what we're going to do, go around, get this step back on, see if we can get that mounted up. Got the wires there, and then I think we'll see if we can get the battery box on, and obviously we've got to get them pipes all routed up as well. Starting point, got to start somewhere. So this could be the moment. I'm glad I'm wearing steel toe cap boots. This could be the moment that I wish steel toe cap boots come sort of further up the foot. Right. I can't see what I'm doing. Ooh. There's one. Sounds like he's back. Hey. Oh, got it too high. Drop it down, boy. Somebody's back in there. Right. Of course, using dead blow hammer that way, we don't damage anything. Right. I'm assuming goes that way. That way. And like that. Can't see what I'm doing this side, can you? That's better. That way. That way. Like that. Don't go underneath. There. There, well.
to get the impossible task.
Oh, go on.
Been rolling a playing field. Rolled it last Friday.
Well, I did think, considering it's too wet to do bugger all.
It's fucking unreal, I'll tell you. Because it must be like 2.5 metres above anything else, and it's pure sand.
Oh, that might work in your favour a bit.
Because when I went last Friday, before I went on, I did say, are you fucking sure? Are you sane or insane?
Football might go into an interesting place.
The trouble is, they had slot seeder in it, and well, not slot drainage years ago, and it's sunk a bit, so it's fucking rough as fuck anyway. But
it's not a Manchester United training ground then?
No. They're trying to rejuvenate it. So we rolled it last Friday. When you roll it, the compaction keeps the moisture in it. We're gone this week, so all the goal mouse, where there's no fucking grass, the roller doesn't want to fucking turn. And of course, it's made the fucking worms a bit more active, and all the worm
Which has now opened the ground up.
Which the worm casts now stick to the fucking roller.
Don't think he's enjoyed his rolling job. Yeah, there now, boys. So that's the rams now installed. They push through, and then it's just a bolt there that holds them on. It's what we're saying with using the dead blow hammer. This one was a bit tight, so I've had to hammer it in. But if you look, you can't actually see a mark on it. Whereas if you'd use normal steel-faced hammer, it would have marked it. So that's good. So they just go through there. That side's all tightened up, but I wasn't quite sure how the pipes were going to run there, so I've left them loose. There's plenty of room there to tighten them up, so now they're in place and I'm happy where they are. We can nip them both up. See there, banjo bolts. See what I mean? So you've got a sealing washer all the sides, so just tighten these up now. So we've hit a bit of a temporary brick wall with this. So next piece that needs to go on this is sort of the main part of the lower links. So pivots on that big pin, rams go either side there, and then your link arms pin into there. So the trouble is, which I kind of realised I was going to go into, this needs to go in here. It's not a big job, just need to turn the steering wheel to be able to allow it to go in. The issue is I'm just not keen on going meddling around turning steering wheels. Turning the steering wheel may result in turning the tractor over on its side in the workshop, which I kind of think the customer might get upset about. So I think what we're going to do, got the covers to go on either side here, and we'll start running the leads back, getting the battery box on. We can get them pipes routed up here along with the cables. So I think that's going to be our plan of attack. Oh, we've got all that lot to sort out. So it always happens. Thought we were doing well. We've hit a snag. The little, not focus on the bolt, not my finger, stud, I suppose it is. The little nut for there appears to have wandered off. 8mm, so it's not exactly a common size, so yeah, that could take a bit of finding. So, scavenging time, I'm assuming. So that's the end of part 1. Part 2 will be coming next week. Hope you're all enjoying seeing some quite serious work being done. As always, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Comment section is down below if you want to say hi. There's a shop in the description if you'd like any merchandise. We'll see you next week.